airtight, absolutely airtight, this national wild card race. And you'll never guess what's most likely to be a big separator. Good morning to you. Good Friday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. The Pirates are out west. They'll be playing the Diamondbacks tonight in Phoenix. Luis Ortiz taking the mound for the visitors, and the home team will have a little bit of a reinforcement. I'm certainly not here to discuss the impact on the playoff race that A.J. Puck is expected to have. He's, just a guy. He's a lefty reliever, 4.3 ERA, 29 years old. They got him from the Marlins yesterday, but that's what these teams are going to do. They're going to identify their weaknesses, and they're going to address, or at least try to address, their weaknesses through external means. Arizona needs some relief. Arizona got some relief. Arizona in the standings is 53-50, a half game in front of the Pirates at 52-50. The Diamondbacks are one game out of the final spot in the playoff picture. But where this starts getting a little bit, it's not scary, I shouldn't say. It's for the Pirates and their fans, it's tremendous just to be engaged in this conversation, right? But when you start looking at who the rest of these teams are, who are these teams that are occupying these three spots? And understand, please, I'm not talking about the three division leader spots, the Phillies, the Dodgers, and the Brewers. I'm talking about the three wild card spots, and there are now three. Those currently belong to the Braves, the Mets, and the Padres. The Braves, remarkably, have lost 5 in a row. I wouldn't bet on that streak getting a whole lot longer. I believe that the Braves are the class of this particular pack and that they're going to rise above. We'll see if that's true. Those next two teams, though, the Mets have won 4 in a row. The Padres have won 5 in a row. Then come the Cardinals, and the Pirates just kind of took care of business with those guys. And then the Diamondbacks, and then the Pirates. None of those teams ahead of Pittsburgh, Braves, Mets, Padres, Cardinals, now the Diamondbacks, are going to stand pat. None of them are going to get through the July 30 Major League Baseball trade deadline without doing a blessed thing. And they don't have to be, in some cases, super mega headline news. A.J. Puck isn't that guy. But if he fills a spot, if he puts other bullpen guys in healthier slotting than they'd been previously, then the Diamondbacks are a better baseball team today than they were a couple days ago. And look, not to continue to belabor the same subject, but this kind of move already could have happened. The A.J. Puck kind of move. If you say to yourself, hey, you don't have to go and get Randy Arozarena for the Pirates to make some kind of run here the rest of the way, get into the playoffs and see what kind of damage they can do with that rotation. If you're getting an Arozarena, you're giving up a lot. And not just because you're dealing with the Rays who are smarter than you. You're giving up a lot because there's already a heck of a market for this guy. He's something. But if you look at the Pirates lineup from the, let's just call it the A.J. Puck perspective, and you were to say, all right, who is a better hitting right fielder than what's been in this lineup all along? Who's a better hitting center fielder than what's been in this lineup? Who's a better hitting catcher than Yasmani Grandal? And what you do is you upgrade, and you upgrade without necessarily paying a ton, meaning a ton in terms of trade capital. This could have happened. I can't be convinced otherwise. But this general manager didn't want it to happen. I believe he still doesn't want it to happen. And I can't be convinced otherwise of that either, because everything that Ben Cherington's done to date strongly suggests exactly that. Never mind that he tacitly confesses it every other weekend by expressing his reluctance to do anything. He doesn't believe in the 2024 Pirates. He does, I think, in the 2025 Pirates, but, you can only do that for so long. 6 of these teams have to be reduced to 3 by season's end. One of them, exactly one of them, and I believe only one of them, is markedly better than the Pirates, and that's the Braves, despite their current losing streak. The Braves are a better baseball team than the Pirates are. So in my mind, that leaves the Pirates as having to be one of 2 teams that make it out of 5. From there, factor in that the Mets spend more than anybody, even the Dodgers, and the Mets, you can bet, are going to do something, probably involving money, at the trade deadline, taking on somebody else's big salaries, etc. So what are we left with now? Oh yeah, Pirates versus Diamondbacks, and Cardinals, and Padres. When we come back, J1Q. This portion of Daily Shot of Pirates is brought to you by our friends at Northshore Tavern, that's directly across Federal Street from PNC Park. It's home of Steak on a Stone, an eating experience, underscoring the word experience. The steak is brought to you partially cooked on an 800-degree stone, and you do the rest. It's a ton of fun, it's a great meal, and it's a baseball atmosphere like no other in Pittsburgh. North Shore Tavern, right across Federal Street from PNC Park. Today's J1Q comes from Jeff, who says, DK, and I'm seeing here he says a bunch of nice things about the show. That's all. Appreciated, Jeff. It's going to probably bore everybody else, but thank you. Are you of the opinion that the Pirates are no less than a 50-50 chance to win in a wild card series, in a short series, given the front end of the starting rotation? I look at it this way. A wild card series, for anybody who doesn't know, is now no longer a best of 1, but a best of 3. In parentheses, my opinion remains that if it had been a best of 3 or an actual series back in 2015, the Pirates might have been World Series champions. Best record in baseball in the regular season, 98 wins, just throwing it out there. But in this setting, this team, unlike that one, is beyond equipped for the one night, one ace format. So if you had that format now, and you're sending Paul bleeping Skeens out there, yeah, you're the favorite. It doesn't matter who's in anybody's lineup. It doesn't matter what anybody's payroll is. It doesn't matter where the game's being played. Skeens is going to have a really, really good chance to shut you down. But that said, even now, with the best of 3, or for that matter, best of 5, best of 7, whatever you got, if you presume, and I would certainly hope this would be the case, that Jared Jones comes back not only healthy, but re-energized and has his stuff back to where it was early this season, you're now going, and I'm not exactly stretching the hypothetical here, from Skeens in Game 1 to Mitch Keller in Game 2 to Jared Jones in Game 3 with all kinds of potential piggyback help along the way because of your other quality starters that you've got going this year. In other words, if you really want to play this out, Jones is pitching Game 3 and for whatever reason doesn't have it, it just doesn't go well for him. You've got Bailey Falter out there coming at you from the left side, throwing high sinkers, which is the exact opposite of everything that Jones represents. You've set your lineup as the opponent to face Jones, but now here comes Falter. You've got a pretty good chance to be the favorite in Game 3 as well. And if you want to start talking about longer series, well, let's remember the opponent tonight, the Diamondbacks, really set the gold standard in that regard with their 2001 World Series championship that was built almost entirely on the backs of two starting pitchers, Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling. They did everything the Diamondbacks did to make sure that they could use those two guys as often as possible, as smartly as possible, not wasting them. And I believe to this day that the Diamondbacks' lone championship changed a lot of thinking around the sport about how you can navigate your way through the playoffs on pitching alone. The problem, the obvious problem, is that the hardest part of this entire process in this beautiful game of baseball is the regular season, is getting to the playoffs. That's been true forever. It remains true today. Here's at least wondering if the GM is going to do his part. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We're going to do another one of these on Monday.